it's particularly important, we think, in that tech sector and in those more technology-oriented fields, because we need a strong sense of civic responsibility there. We need our innovators of tomorrow to be thinking carefully about the impact of their work on their communities, on their country, and on the world. Hi, I'm Suzanne Spaulding, Senior Advisor for Homeland Security and Director of the Defending Democratic Institutions Project at CSIS. And I'm here to talk about my recent report with Paula Reynal entitled Building Civics Concepts into STEM and the Tech Sector. This report, bringing civics concepts into the STEM education and the tech sector, is part of our broader effort to raise awareness that reinvigorating civics education in our country is a national security imperative. And that work in turn grew out of the work that we started in 2017 to better understand our adversaries' information operations, targeting Americans and trying to undermine their trust in democracy and in democratic institutions. As we studied this phenomenon, and particularly the activities of Russia, the Kremlin, we realized that one of the most important things you can do is build resilience in the public against the content of that messaging. If they are trying to undermine the Americans' trust in democracy, one of the most important things we need to do is teach Americans about democracy. And that's what civics is all about. Unfortunately, we have let civics education atrophy in this country over decades, really dating back to the launch by the Russians of the Sputnik satellite, when we realized that STEM education is a national security imperative, which it is. But in the process and over the years, for a variety of reasons, we have let our civics education decline. And as a result, we now have a population, including adults, that does not have a good understanding of how our government is set up, how it is supposed to work, what are our aspirations for those government entities at all levels, and how can we as individuals hold those institutions accountable and be effective agents of change. And we realize that we can't just appeal to students who are interested in government already. We need to reach all Americans, and that means finding ways to reach students who are more interested in science and technology and engineering and math, and reaching adults who are very tech savvy and in our tech sector. All of them need to have this understanding. And it's particularly important, we think, in that tech sector and in those more technology-oriented fields, because we need a strong sense of civic responsibility there. We need our innovators of tomorrow to be thinking carefully about the impact of their work on their communities, on their country, and on the world. What we have laid out in this report is a series of recommendations for how we can increase the interest and the understanding. How do we bring these concepts together? How do we make civics relevant to those with an interest in technology and science? It's particularly timely right now. There's a lot of discussion right now about the state of our democracy. And it's vital that we all realize we cannot hope to sustain our democracy if we don't teach it. To read the full report, Building Civics Concepts into STEM and the Tech Sector, please visit csis.org.